Hello and welcome to the first and possibly only edition of the Hindsight 420 podcast. My name is Nicholas Hinds, hence the Hindsight 420 because I smoke a ton of weed and I love the medicinal practices surrounding medical marijuana. As you can tell, I'm driving down the road here in Northeast Oklahoma, just minding my own business. Hand sanitizer readily available in both doors here in the Passat. So let's talk about what's going on in the world, why don't we? Let's start with sports, probably my favorite thing to talk about. And thanks for joining me for sports. Is anybody else almost at a point of not really knowing what to do anymore because live sports took up such a large part of your life that now that we don't have it, we're starting to recognize things around our house like shorter people than us, children and things of such. I'm not a fan of not being able to be a fan. I'm not going to lie. Rogers State Hillcats were going to be in the national tournament. I was about to buy my tickets, ready to go. No thanks, COVID-19. No national tournament for the Hillcats. Great season anyway. Coach Barkley, if you do see this, man, great work this season. March Madness being canceled. I was born in 1985. Every spring that I can remember, the month of March, I dedicated more time to CBS than I honestly care to admit because I hate that network. However, March Madness is worth it all day, every day. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for me in the sports world. I really don't know how I feel about anything, but I do know I haven't seen Cristiano Ronaldo grace a soccer pitch in 3 weeks in live fashion. If you know anything about me, you know that I have a man crush on Cristiano Ronaldo, and not being able to see him to soar through the air and head balls the way he does, I can't go any longer without that in my life. Also, the NBA playoffs just around the corner if we were in real time. This alternate universe that I've been forced to live in, honestly, is not, I can't do it. Even if I run out of toilet paper and I don't eat for 2 weeks, I think if I had live sports, I might be able to do it. Because I could distract myself and find things to do. Okay, let's stop ranting about the lack of sports and talk about some of the things going on in the sports world besides missing the action. First things first, I'd like to say, besides Mark Cuban, why are we not seeing more leadership amongst the billionaire class in athletics, in professional sports especially? Why aren't they taking part in community welfare and society managed programs? How many players have we seen step forward and pay for salaries for, hourly employees that don't get to come to work now? Where are the ownership responsibilities? Why aren't they stepping forward? That's becoming a point of emphasis for me. I'm going to be interested to see, as this goes forward, who becomes the people that we can rely on. It's going to be tough for a lot of us, no joke, but in the sports world, the fans have created the monster that is the NBA, that is the NFL, the MLB, the UEFA leagues and Europe, soccer leagues over in Europe and Africa. It's the fans that create all that wealth. And the fans, the middle class, the passionate, the real sports fans, they're the ones that's going to be directly affected by loss of income and jobs, and not seeing these billionaire class owners step forward and do more. And if I'm wrong, please, in the comments or wherever this is posted, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, most likely, please tell me if I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. Show me where these guys are doing their part. Okay, enough sports. I want to go on to something else. I want to go on to the fact that Netflix is still really expensive. So we know Netflix is like killing the game right now. It's obvious. I was just charged my Netflix subscription And even though, admittedly, I'm not watching it more than I normally would because I'm still an essential employee here in Oklahoma, and I'm still going to work every day, all day, ask anybody who knows me. But is there not something we can do? I just lost my train of thought. Somebody behind me is screaming at their wife in the car. That's the dangers of driving around in Rogers County. Oh, man, somebody tell me where I was at. Oh, well, I don't care. We'll just keep ranting about whatever I want to rant about until it comes back to me. So I talked about why the billionaires aren't doing their part. I've talked about how players are doing their part. I wish players would do more, but I know safety comes first. They got to stay with their families, keep their families safe. Here's something that was just released in the news today for those of us that live in Tulsa, Rogers County, and the surrounding areas. A Quick Trip employee, 22-year-old young man, I can't remember his name presently, passed away from COVID-19 related complications. And if you're from Tulsa especially, Quick Trip is not the same right now. And that has nothing to do with sports, but it does remind me that this is a serious situation. Anyways, this is really hard to do live. I don't have anybody else to talk to, so I don't want to sound like I'm just ranting. I wish I had other opinions to go on here. Let's keep talking about something I think that's going on in sports that we may need to think about. These high school students and college athletes that are just finishing up their seasons, that they've been cut short, what does that do for scholarship applications? Applications meaning not new students applying, but what happens to these students that now have had a semester cut short and been forced to move out of their dormitories and don't have their school privileges and the food that they rely on through scholarships? What's being done to help them? Now, I know the other students that are in universities, they're kind of at a feast or famine type of scenario, but these athletes join on scholarships, and those scholarships have certain guarantees for them. As a former staff member on a university basketball team, I always thought of the players first. What would I want? How would I want to be treated if I were in this situation? Pardon. And I really think about what happens to these students when they go home away from their university. Sometimes that's the most dangerous position that puts them in vulnerable situations that honestly are difficult for them to handle, especially whenever there's no money because maybe their moms, sisters, brothers, dads, or family members have already lost their jobs and don't have their regular income. So now they're forced to feed another person who has no other option but to go home. Again, if I'm wrong on any of this, feel free to comment and let me know, but send evidence. But that's what the Hindsight 420 podcast is all about. I just want to try and talk about perspective and the things that I see in the world, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the perspective. Discuss amongst yourself, comment, share, like, all those things. Okay, that's it for sports. What else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about music. What's everybody been listening to now that we're all locked away? We can only watch so many shows. Who's got the best music out right now? Honestly, I just heard Drake's 2C Slide or whatever. I don't know how much longer I'm going to listen to R&B. If this is what everybody is into. Yeah, it's fun. And let's make some cool Instagram and TikToks. But honestly, what happened to hip-hop and R&B? And if I'm wrong on this, prove me wrong. Show me the music that I'll enjoy. But I'll tell you this, if it doesn't tell a story, if it doesn't have character, if it doesn't have development in the song, if they got paid millions of dollars to say one word repetitively and we count that as a chorus, that's not good music. Just because it's high on the charts does not make it good music. So what are you guys listening to? What should I be listening to? I'll tell you what I'm listening to. I'm totally into pop goes punk right now. So sue me. I've been listening to Hanson a lot lately. Bop has revitalized my youth. I feel different now than I did whenever Bop was big, because I got made fun of a lot for liking boy band music And of course, even though they were from Tulsa, I still took heat for enjoying good music. But even as an adult now, I find myself listening to a lot of things that I used to not like. So hopefully you guys can provide me with some things that I will like, and I can talk about, have some things to talk about in the next podcast. But really, I have no idea what to listen to next. I will tell you a band that I listened to today that I really enjoy. It's really old school. Everybody who knows me will know this band. I was listening to Steven Speaks today. I totally forgot how awesome the song Passenger Seat is. So look that up on YouTube. You guys can find it. Maybe I'll post it in the thread below. That's smoker's lung. Definitely not COVID. Yeah, because I smoke weed a lot. Which is odd because I broadcast, I sing, but I medicate responsibly, of course. So naturally, I cough like any other genuine pothead does. So no worries. And unless this thing can go through the phones, I don't think you're going to get it from me right now. I do practice social distancing. I got really uncomfortable in Quick Trip earlier. Somebody was really close to me while I was getting my slushie. Ended up pouring the slushie out and just paying for gas. Wasn't into it. Didn't like the breathing pattern of the lady next to me. So I was out of there. I'm not playing any games. I do wear gloves when I enter dispensaries to deliver. I do wear gloves when I grocery shop. I have a mask. I don't wear it regularly, but maybe we should. We don't know. Again, I'm just kind of rambling and talking in hindsight about what I'm thinking about. So I hope you guys are enjoying listening to me talk about anything and everything. Well, let's talk about this. My birthday is coming up in June. Not that anybody really cares, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do anything. I know I'm not going to enjoy anything in the world probably until June. So, like, I really don't know what to talk about in this podcast, but I'm so marooned with my children that if I don't express to somebody, anybody, these things that are going on in my head, I'm honestly worried that I'm going to drive my own self crazy. If you guys are like me, I argue with myself all the time. I'm in the car winning arguments, making decisions about how we're going to fix the world. And usually I have people to go out and get drinks, grab a steak and a salad or something with, or a sandwich, and talk about this stuff. The homie Topher Bland mostly gets to receive all of my nonsense. My kids get to hear all of my ramblings. And now you guys do too, thanks to the Hindsight 420 podcast. We are sponsored thanks to the Sugarleaf Supply Company and the Green Goat in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Both of them open and ready to bring medical marijuana products to you. That's enough advertisement, enough plugs. I want to get one last thing in. I would like to end on kind of a positive, but kind of a somber note. In this time of isolation, maybe it is time for us to realize and to fully accept and to introspectively examine how disgusting we really are. I hear all the time people talking about, well, the flu kills this many people. This virus killed this many people. COVID-19 is only this contractable, or it only kills this many people. Okay, all of that accepted as factual and true. Can we please start talking about how disgusting our environment has become? Like, I'm scared to touch metal surfaces. Plastic is untouchable now. Not because there's anything wrong with plastic, but because we, as transmitters of these microbial diseases and viruses, are so disgusting and uncleanly that we are at risk of killing everybody by our own vile nature. Can we please look deep inside? I am begging, and begin treating each other, our environment, and the world around us with the respect it deserves. Mother Nature does nothing but find ways to destroy us. I live in Tornado Alley. I could die tomorrow in a random thunderstorm that spins something off. I get it. Death is imminent. But for us to be so dirty and nasty that the very first thing that the American people were instructed to do was to spend more time washing our hands and don't cough on the people around you. What the fuck is that about? Why have we allowed ourselves to become this disgusting? Okay, a toddler coughs on me, I get it. Turn your head, Tiny. That's not what I'm here for. When adults are walking through grocery stores, thumbing through packages of stuff after they've just coughed directly into the world that I exist into. Why have we accepted this and now have to be chastised and told that behavior is dangerous? I get it. We're gonna die from the flu. We're gonna die from whatever virus kills us 100 years from now. This is kind of cyclical. This is happening on a regular basis now. There's H1N1. There was the swine flu, the bird flu. There's the regular flu and all of its different adaptations. All of these things exist, but there's one common denominator, and that's that we are disgusting and we give it to each other. Can we please, all together at one time, say amen to washing our hands regularly? Longer? If I share a public restroom from here on out and I see somebody walk out without washing their hands, I'm publicly shaming. I'm going to follow them and say, stay away from them. They did not wash their hands. That is so vile. I've reached a point now where I realize the most dangerous thing in my life is you. It's you, motherfuckers. You dirty, nasty, no hand washing, no baby wiping, no hand sanitizer, from one thing to the next, all day, every day, disgusting people that scare me the most now. Okay, I'm done yelling at you. I've got to do it myself too. I've got to be better. I touch my face because it's beautiful, but look at this skin. I got to protect it. I can't be touching it all the time. I yell at my kids, you've got a neck, you don't need your hands. Hold your head up. And as I almost touched my face there. Look, guys, this is coming from a place of love. Let's please wash ourselves. Bathe regularly. Wash your hands. You've seen the videos. Take your time. Teach your children. Let's all agree that we could slow this down just by not being disgusting. But that's not just COVID. That would slow the transmission of flu, of other viruses, of other things that are detrimental to our way of life. Quick shout out before I get off of this. I think I've yelled enough. I want to say thank you so much to the healthcare workers, first responders, the police officers, and EMS that continue to do their jobs in the face of grave danger. I'd also like to say thank you to the fast food industry and the sacrifice that the workers have made to make sure that we can all enjoy the fat, arrogant American diet that we enjoy, myself included. I live way too close to a Cane's and Whataburger for me to even stand on a soapbox because it'll probably break, let's be honest. All that being said, let's love each other, respect each other, clean ourselves, wash our hands, because I can't go any longer without sports. Having somebody serve me, over tipping for poor service, and doing it because I know they've probably got a family to feed just like I do. One love, treat each other with respect. Thanks for checking out the first edition of the Hindsight 420 podcast. See you next time.